As of yesterday, I completed 100 days semen retention. So a lot of you might be thinking, what is that, Ricky? Why would you do that? What is that even all about? And in this video, I'm going to explain it and go in depth. So I set myself a challenge for 100 days without ejaculation, essentially. Okay, now for those who know what semen retention is, you know exactly what the whole gist is, but for those who don't, I'm going to explain it a little bit. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Literally semen retention, you retain your semen and you don't expel it, right? So I set myself a challenge for 100 days, complete semen retention, no excuses, no fucking bullshit. And I hit that 100 days literally yesterday, feeling fucking amazing because it's the longest streak I've developed so far. In the past, the longest one I've done was 90 days. So I did 3 months in the past. And then this time I set out to do 100 days because I just wanted that 100-day mark. Now, why did I do it? Okay, so there's an array of reasons why I did it, but the main one was to prove to myself, not anyone else, but just to prove to myself my degree of sexual discipline that I've developed over the years. So I used to be the sort of person who was very much driven by lust, very much like impulsive when it came to things related to like sex and all that sort of stuff. I would literally just always find myself just talking to fucking chicks who we have no alignment, getting with girls just based on lust and nothing else. Even in the earlier days, like masturbating and fucking watching porn and all that shit. Like just didn't feel like I had the best levels of sexual discipline in the past. And so I wanted to prove to myself that I have made significant leaps and, you know, improvements in that area. So I set myself a 100-day challenge. Now, to a lot of people, that is fucking insane. That's a lot of days you go without ejaculating, right? But I wanted to set myself a pretty extreme challenge, and because I've done the 90 days in the past, I wanted to bump it up a little bit. Now, in this challenge, I experienced a lot of different things, right? Firstly, I just want to mention for those guys out there who are, you know, considering doing this, I'll highlight the benefits in a little bit, but I'll just say this, it is insanely hard at the start, and then it gets easier and easier and easier as the weeks go on. So, you know, the first few days, week, that sort of thing, it's actually pretty hard. Like you're like, oh fuck, you know, I just want to ejaculate, I want to come, that sort of thing. But as the weeks go on, it just literally leaves your mind. You don't think about it anymore. Like right now in my mind, I think I'm at like 101 days, right? Because the benchmark was yesterday, or the milestone was yesterday. And like even still in my mind, I'm just like, I really don't care. I don't even think about it because I haven't done it in 100 days. It's not even in my reality, right? So that's what I want to mention. At the start, it's really hard to get started. Like, you know, at the start, it's really like you're fighting temptations. But then as the weeks go on, to me anyway, it's super fucking easy. It's just not even a part of your reality anymore. And it's it's something that you can do to really build up your level of sexual discipline. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dive a bit deeper into my experience, and then we'll keep going. So when I first started, as I said, it was pretty hard. As the weeks went on, it just got easier and easier and easier. It became my way of being, my way of life. Now, some of the benefits that I experienced was, one, a complete removal of lust from my mind. Like when you take out the possibility of ejaculation, everything else that's associated with that falls away, right? So I wasn't even thinking about like corn, which is obviously a code word for the word that I can't say. You guys know what it is. You go on Cornhub, you know what it is, right? So I wasn't even thinking of that. I wasn't even thinking of masturbation because, again, those two things without ejaculation, it doesn't really even make sense to do it, right? It's like, why would I even do that? So those two things fell away just from the sort of initial goal of just no ejaculation whatsoever. And then it came to sex, right? So that's like the other sort of main barrier. Now, I will be completely transparent. I did have sex during this period of semen retention. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But during the sex, I just didn't ejaculate, okay? So that's a thing called like tantric sex or whatever you want to refer to it as. But basically, you still have sex. You still, you know, have normal sex just like anyone else would. But you refrain from the ejaculation. And this is like taking your sexual discipline to a whole new level. This is when you're, you know, practicing the art of semen retention. You're actually in the depths of the practice. And you're also with a woman who you hopefully have alignment and connection with. and you are still doing it regardless, and you're still sticking to your discipline. And bro, it'll test you. Like, you know, I'm not going to say it's easy to do it without the sex, but adding the sex in as well, it takes it to a whole new level. It really tests your discipline. So that was my personal experience with it. And again, I've been completely transparent with you guys. The first few weeks, again, as I mentioned, were hard, particularly the first week. After that, it just gets easier and easier and easier. And especially, like, even with sex, right? It's just like, yep, you know, I'm sure an ejaculation would feel good, but I set myself a goal and I'm going to stick to that goal. So it's all about doing what you say you're going to do as well. Like, if you have set yourself a goal, if you've set yourself a milestone, it's delaying the gratification of an ejaculation for the longer goal. Okay, so it's like, okay, yes, it would feel good to come, obviously, okay? But what would feel better is knowing that I have the sexual discipline to go 100 days without, you know, giving into that temptation. And part of the reason I did this personally was because I wanted to show myself that I can literally go 100 days without experiencing one of the best feelings that a man can experience. Okay, like, you know, if we're being completely honest here, if you're a guy watching this, one of the best physical feelings that you can feel is an ejaculation. Okay, that's not news to anyone, right? That's pretty known knowledge. But I wanted to prove to myself that, hey, if I can do that, if I can go literally 100 days, over 3 months without ejaculating, without just giving into that temptation, which is so readily available and so accessible and just insanely like easy to access, what can't I do? That's one of the main reasons I did it. I wanted to build up my sort of like confidence in my own word. I wanted to build up my own self-belief to that point of like, fuck, I can literally abstain from this for 100 days. There is nothing I can't fucking do. And that's genuinely how I feel right now. I feel like I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. I feel like if I set myself a goal, I can absolutely achieve it. I can smash it. I can fucking obliterate it because I've done this. And this ties into self-confidence and self-belief and all these sorts of things. Like, they're all based on past references. So yes, while semen retention may not be your thing, maybe you don't want to try it for whatever reason, set yourself some challenge, any challenge, a challenge that will boost your belief in yourself. It'll give you a past reference of success, and then you can build upon that. Okay, so that's been sort of my experience in that regard. In the sense of like, you know, benefits that I've sort of experienced or changes I've noticed, a lot more mental bandwidth, as I said before, when you completely remove the idea of ejaculating out of your mind. You're not really thinking about sex whatsoever. Complete transparency, as I said, I did have sex, but it wasn't like something that I was thinking about. It sort of just came about. And yeah, I don't regret it one bit. I think the art of actually having sex without ejaculating, it's a discipline that a lot of men would benefit from. To actually learn how to control their sexual energy and not just be a slave to it, right? Most men have sex and they're just like, and the boom, just ejaculate, right? No thought to it, no control to it. There's no even real connection to it. Whereas my experience when I was having sex in the period of like semen retention was, yep, you're having sex, it's beautiful, it's a divine connection, but I'm connected to that energy and I am literally like breathing deep into my body and making sure that I don't release. And it's actually a really spiritual and beautiful experience, and I would highly recommend all men do it. Outside of that, I experience like really high levels of confidence, really high levels of self-belief, really high levels of just like, just belief in myself, because I'm like, fuck me, I can do this for 100 days. And especially like building up on the weeks and weeks when they start stacking, you start to feel like you can do anything. Rightfully so, because it's a hard thing to do. It's not easy. Okay, so one thing you will absolutely experience is heightened sense of confidence, heightened sense of belief in yourself. Other things that I experienced was a really strong degree of like, how do I say this? I experienced a really strong sense of, not superiority in any form, but I just felt like different in a good way. Like I was like, fuck man, like most men genuinely can't go 3 days without ejaculating. Most men genuinely can't fucking get to the week mark. And the fact that I can go 100 days, that made me feel really fucking good about myself. Not from a place of superiority, but it just made me feel like, oh shit, like that is actually an achievement. This is actually something that is unique. It's something that most men can't do and won't ever be able to do in their entire fucking life. Actually, I reckon they can. They just won't set themselves that goal because it's, you know, it's not fun necessarily. You have to delay yourself pleasure. But it made me feel really good about myself in that sense. And yeah, other things that it did was it made me hyper-focused on my purpose and my mission, because as I said, I completely sort of like, not blocked out, but I just disregarded all things regard to sex and ejaculation and all that stuff. Even though it still happened, I wasn't chasing it. It sort of just like came about. But yeah, I had a lot more mental bandwidth for my purpose, for my business, for everything like that. And that really played out. My business and, you know, businesses have skyrocketed in the past 100 days. Like, honestly, there's been massive changes, massive improvements. Everything's gone up. It's been really, really good. Was that just because of the semen retention? Probably not, right? It's probably also my work ethic and all this other sort of stuff. But it definitely played a part in terms of my mental bandwidth. Other things I experienced was definitely heightened sense of energy, definitely heightened sense of focus, definitely heightened sense of mood. All right. What we don't realize is like constantly ejaculating and all this sort of stuff, it depletes dopamine. And so when you abstain from something like that, your dopaminergic baseline is naturally going to be higher, and you're going to have naturally higher levels of dopamine, which is going to improve focus, mood, energy, and drive. That's another thing that was a lot higher, my drive. On a physical level, I noticed my like erections and whatnot were way more often, as you would suspect, literally fucking all the time, right? All the time. And yeah, I just really improved my relationship towards my sexual side too. I was like, you know, I'm in control of you, you're not in control of me. So it really deepened my relationship towards the sexual element of myself. Now, do I recommend it? Absolutely, I wholeheartedly do. I think every single man should do a stint of semen retention for at least 1 month in his life. He needs to learn that he is in control over his sexual energy. He needs to learn that he has the ability to overcome his lustful urges, and he needs to know that he is stronger than what these, you know, urges are. He needs to know that he controls them, they don't control him. I think every man should do it, because I think semen retention, you're very much so caught up in this ideology and worldview of I need to ejaculate. Like, oh, I need to, bro. If I don't do it, I'll get blue balls, or I'll get this, I'll get that. Bro, I think a lot of that's just bullshit. It's just self-inflicted narratives, because I can go 100 days. Why the fuck can't you go 1 week? Realistically, like, I think all men should do it. All men should genuinely experience it for themselves and see how transformative it is. Not even on the physical level, right? Like, a lot of people say, oh, you gain more muscle, your skin glows, all this sort of stuff. I don't know. Did that stuff happen? Sure, right? I like to think I'm always gaining muscle, and I like to think I've always got relatively good skin because I take care of myself. So I can't really comment on those. I feel super strong. I feel energetic. I feel driven. I feel focused. I feel happy. I feel really fucking good about myself. So that's my sort of take on that. But yeah, I absolutely think every man should do it at least once in his life. Learn that you are in control of these things. Learn that you have power over them. Learn how to develop a healthy relationship to them, which isn't just like, I'm hard, I want to ejaculate. I'm hard, I'm going to come. Boom, hot chick, I'm going to fuck a corn video, I'm going to watch it. Like, it takes you from being impulsive, and it turns you, this is a better way to say it, it takes you from being reactive to your sexual energy to being responsive. So you have a lot more control, there's a lot more space, there's a lot more thought behind the actions. And you can actually be intentional with your sexual energy in comparison to just fucking blurting it out all over the place. Okay? Now, they say that, you know, your semen is like life force. Okay? So getting into the spiritual element of it, semen isn't just like some random fucking liquid that's in your body, right? It literally has the ability to create life. It has the ability to create a whole new person, obviously with the help of your woman. That isn't something to be taken lightly. And I could dive into 1,000 topics here. Like, when you constantly ejaculate, you enter a refractory period, which weakens a man mentally, physically, spiritually, literally floods his body with like hormones and whatnot, which weaken him and decrease his testosterone, and how abstaining from the sort of like ejaculation can boost your testosterone and all these sort of things. But just in general, it's a really fucking good thing to do. You guys should absolutely try it at least once in your life and learn from the experience, right? You, for the most part, you've probably never gone more than 2 weeks since you've been able to ejaculate. So test yourself, challenge yourself, and actually learn about your body, learn about how much control you have over it, and develop a sense of control over it. Now, will I do it again? Okay, absolutely. Am I going to go 100 days again? Fuck, maybe, right? Not for a little while. I'll be completely honest. I'm not going to do it for a little while, but like I'm talking continuously do like 7-day semen retention streaks. Absolutely. I'm not going to be ejaculating every fucking day. I think that's a bit careless, and that doesn't align with my philosophy. But for now, I'm not going to do like another 100-day streak or anything like that. But I will be doing definitely like smaller streaks all the fucking time. I really do like how I feel when I'm on semen retention. I do feel much better. I feel stronger. I feel more focused. I feel like I have a better mood. In general, I feel like a better man. And so that's something that I don't really want to let go of. But I won't be doing a super long streak anytime soon. Maybe next year I might do another super long one, because if you think about this, I haven't came in over 3 months. So a good part of this year, literally like pretty much 50% of this year, which is a bit wild to think about. But hope you guys gained value from my experience. Hope I shared a bit of insight around this. Hope I shared some value around this. And I highly recommend you try it out for yourself if you're a guy. Test your discipline, test your strength. You know, discipline and all this sort of stuff goes beyond the gym. It goes into the spiritual realm. And if you can gain control over your own life force and over the strongest temptation, which is your sexual urges, there isn't much you can't gain control over. So see this as the ultimate challenge, and know that if you can overcome your lust, which, you know, semen retention will do. If you go a long streak of semen retention, you will be able to overcome lust. I'm not, you know, do I recommend engaging in sex like I did? Maybe, maybe not. It's completely up to you. As long as, you know, I always advise you actually have a connection with the woman and it's not just some random one night thing for spiritual purposes. But yeah, try it out for yourself. See what you get from it, see what you gain. And yeah, you would be majorly surprised on how you feel when you abstain from this thing. So guys, have an amazing night. Have an amazing day whenever it is you're listening to this. Again, hope you gained value. If you did gain value, subscribe, like, comment, share, do all those sort of good things. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video.